Alright, this video is the start of another series on my channel. I'm calling this one Retail Revelations, where I tell stories from my time working in retail, back when I worked for Rite Aid. I would normally censor the company name with a clever alternative, but the company is going bankrupt and currently closing all of its locations, so I think I'm pretty safe to use the actual name. Nah, you know what? I'll still censor it for the gits and shiggles. So, back to when I worked for Wrong Neglect. I was a cashier for the front end and became a shift supervisor shortly before I was hired at my current job. So, sit back, relax, and enjoy me detailing 3 short stories during my time in hell. Oh, and if you want more stories per video, or if you have some retail horror stories of your own, feel free to comment it below, and maybe, if y'all want, I can read out your stories after I cover all mine. Alright. Story 1. Alright, so this was the first time that I ran into anything remotely weird at this job, right? I was cashiering, we were busy. Like, busy. Like, the shift supervisor, the only other person scheduled to work with me, because we worked night, and that's how they did it, even though it was a bad neighborhood. But he was also on the registers, ringing people out. And, like, we still had a line back, like, halfway back through the building. We were in a rush. And these 2 girls come up to my register. You know, I ring them out, normal stuff. And I'm like, okay, your total is insert number here. I don't remember what it was specifically. But they were clearly intoxicated. Well, one of them was very talkative, the other one did not say a word. Apparently, the quiet one just turned 21 and they were partying or whatever. But the talkative one, you know, she's going on and on and on and on and like holding up the line. And then she turns to her friend and like grasps her friend's hair and turns to me and says, "Is her hair pretty?" And I'm just silent. I don't know, man. I didn't know what was going on. Then she turns around and says, "Is my ass pretty?" And in my state of shock and scared nature and trying to figure out how to get these 2 out so that way I could bring more people out, the only thing I could say in the moment was, "So your total is insert number here." Just completely ignored them, but somehow that worked, I guess. Okay, story 2. So there's this guy that always came in. He was a real nice guy. So he would always use the Western Union machine. And Western Union is a business, it's a money transfer business. So the way this machine worked, right? You were supposed to pick up the phone. Yes, like the corded landline-esque phone, right? You're supposed to pick it up at the kiosk. It would automatically dial to the representative, and then you would, you know, talk with the representative, you know, give them the information they need. They would give you a code number, usually like 8 digits, I think. And then you would take that up to the register and the cashier would run the transaction, be it, you know, sending money and like taking your money, or if you were receiving money, they would, you know, if they had the money in the drawer, they would give you it. So, you know, he would regularly come in and do Western Union. Had a bit of a speech impediment, so, you know, we always helped him. But he was always one of the nicest customers I had, right? Always kind, never was a problem, never did anything wrong. And then one day, he comes in off his meds. So I think I was stacking the shelves, and I start hearing a commotion. And, you know, I look around at what's happening, and I end up, you know, getting a little closer to the register so I can, like, peek around, you know? And he is standing along, like, the sides of the registers, close to the cashier at the time that was up there. And he was talking to the customer that was being rung out. But he was saying, he was sitting there saying things like, "I rebuke thee, demon," like, straight to her face, and she didn't know who he was. As far as I could piece together, they had no prior connection, no prior history together. Like, he just, you know, he was off his meds and started seeing demons and apparently thought that this random customer was a demon, you know, until he ended up leaving the store. And then someone ended up saying that they thought they saw a gun out there, and we ended up having to lock up and, you know, call the police. But that's a different story for later. Story 3. So I was there behind the register, you know, my usual place, and I was ringing out this customer, and one of my biggest pet peeves when working there was when someone would come up and, like, they would just interrupt the transaction going on. Like, they see that I'm helping another customer and just, like, butt their way in, like, you know, force their way in and just expect me to, like, instantly drop what I'm doing and pay attention to them, right? So this other lady That's exactly what happens. I'm ringing this customer out, and this other lady walks in, immediately like walks up, just butts in, and she goes, "Do y'all sell ice?" So I'm like, yes we do. They're along, left wall all the way down, last cooler, all the way down there along the wall on the bottom shelf. And she goes, "Okay, where's that?" And all I could say was, left wall, all the way down, last cooler, bottom shelf. Like, I don't understand to this day how I could have gotten more specific on where the product was. And then the customer I was helping, we both just shared a confused look after she walked away. I don't understand. But that's all for today's episode of Retail Revelations. Remember, feel free to comment your retail horror stories below, and don't forget to like and subscribe. We had these physical machines. Western Union is a words. Western Union is a business, I guess, for lack of a better word. What? You can unmute.
I'm just saying money transferring business. It's just money transfer.
Well, yeah, that's that. I was going to segue into that. I don't know why I was thinking fit a word in between Western Union and money transfer. Okay.